On any given day, there are more than 20,000 open warrants in Bexar County alone. You can make South Texas a safer place. Make the difference. Make the call. Welcome to South Texas Most Wanted, coming to you tonight from downtown Corpus Christi, Texas. Why? Many of the fugitives you helped to find tend to blend in certain areas: Brownsville, Laredo, Corpus Christi, San Antonio, including one who has been on the run for about 7 months now. We hope you can end that run tonight. Gonzalo Romero is wanted by the U.S. Marshal Service for having an active arrest warrant for violating the conditions of his supervised release. Back in September of 2006, Romero was sentenced to 120 months in prison on charges of possession with intent to distribute cocaine. He was also ordered to serve 5 years of supervised release, what we might commonly refer to as probation. But in December of last year, 2015, Romero violated the conditions of his supervised release by continually testing positive for marijuana. This is according to authorities. Now, at that point, law enforcement says Romero stopped reporting for drug treatment and for counseling. Romero also stopped reporting to his probation officer. His last known whereabouts, and keep in mind that is this year, are in the whereabouts of Van Ormy, which is of course in the Bexar County area. Romero is said to be a member of a large-scale criminal gang here in Texas, and they believe he has not wandered far. The 47-year-old Gonzalo Romero is almost 6 feet tall, weighs about 210 pounds. He has obvious multiple tattoos on his neck, his chest, his abdomen, back, and arms. Authorities say Romero also has an extensive criminal history in dealing cocaine. If you have any information on Gonzalo Romero, call our South Texas Most Wanted hotline, the number 210-462-1747. Again, 210-462-1747.
Good evening, I'm Vanessa Gallegos. Your tips and information have helped authorities capture more than a dozen fugitives featured right here on South Texas Most Wanted. And we are confident that your calls will lead to even more. Javonte Malcolm Lee is wanted on a couple of charges, including obstruction of a highway by intoxication and assault with bodily injury of a family member. If you have never heard of an obstruction of a highway charge, welcome to the club. We did our research, and basically it is a lesser offense than a DWI, but it is still a Class B misdemeanor, and you could still be looking at 6 months in jail. The assault with bodily injury charge is much more serious because it involves a family member. That is a third-degree felony and could lead up to 10 years behind bars. Javonte Malcolm Lee just celebrated his 24th birthday in late June. We hope you can make that celebration short-lived. His last known address is off of TPC Parkway on the far north side, and authorities believe he is still in that area. And 39-year-old Leticia Anthony is wanted on a charge of failure to stop and render aid. That is also a third-degree felony, and she is also facing up to 10 years behind bars. Her last known address is on the south side on Christine Drive near Riverside Golf Course. If you have any information on Javonte Malcolm Lee or Leticia Anthony, give us a call on our South Texas Most Wanted hotline at 210-462-1747. Again, that's 210-462-1747. For South Texas Most Wanted, I'm Vanessa Gallegos.
That's our Vanessa Gallegos. You know, you speak to law enforcement from Corpus Christi to San Antonio, they'll tell you the same thing. The worst criminal is one that has nothing to lose. That's our next fugitive on the run tonight. We're hoping you can help find him. The United States Marshal Service is looking for information on the whereabouts of Oscar Herrada Herrera. A difficult name to say and apparently a difficult man to find. Law enforcement officials say there is an active warrant for Herrada Herrera for escaping from the Frio County Correctional Facility in Pearsall. Way back in September of 2003, Herrada Herrera and another man escaped from that facility and sparked a massive manhunt throughout South Texas and Western Texas, but neither inmate has ever been captured. According to published reports, the U.S. Marshal Service says that there were no signs of a forced escape and no one was injured during the incident. Herrada Herrera and the other inmate were last accounted for inside the jail at 9 in the morning. At the next head count, just 2 hours later, both were gone. We should note that back in 2003, the Frio County Detention Center was being run by a private company out of Florida. The Frio County Sheriff's Department runs it now, at least for now.
Now, at the time of his escape, Herrada Herrera was facing multiple charges for conspiracy and possession with intent to distribute cocaine and heroin charges as well. Now, authorities are not saying just how much cocaine or heroin that we're talking about, but obviously it was enough to motivate Herrada Herrera to not stick around and face those charges. Now, he was already facing more than 2.5 years behind bars on the heroin charges. The escape charges could carry a 5-year sentence, and then there are those pesky cocaine charges. Now, before his arrest, our alleged escapee was living both here in San Antonio and in Laredo, but authorities say he was born in Nuevo, across the border there from Laredo, and is still a Mexican citizen. However, it is possible, with so many ties to Texas, that the 42-year-old likely may come back our way every once in a while. Oscar Herrada Herrera has been a fugitive on the run for more than a decade now. You can help that time run out tonight. If you have any information on this man, call our South Texas Most Wanted hotline at 210-462-1747. Again, 210-462-1747. Make the difference. Make the call.
Still to come, a lot of Texans down here enjoying the summer in Corpus Christi. The one step we can all take, no matter where you are, to be safe all summer long. And our JT Street takes on the phenomenon that has become Pokemon Go. South Texas Most Wanted will be back in 30 seconds. South Texas Most Wanted coming to you from downtown Corpus Christi. You know, we are in the dog days of summer, and anytime you head out to the beach or to the pool, it's very easy to lose track of the one thing that should really matter the most: your family's safety. City leaders in San Antonio have stepped up to make sure that you do not forget that, and that you remember all the things that are important before you take that very first plunge.
And then I figured I got enough time to go home and change to go back to City Hall, so went ahead and did it.
Is there anything better?
No, this was awesome. I mean, in fact, when I spoke, I talked about, what did I say? We said we want to focus on safety, but the whole point is because we want to have fun.
I think it's one of the things that links a city together and citizens together. You know, there's lots of things to do in the city of San Antonio, but parks is the one thing that's free, community, and it draws people together. One of the ladies here said that 2 children drown every single day in the United States, and for kids just to learn simply how to float, to get out of the pool, will save lives. And so this program is assisting that, and our citizens in San Antonio a free way to save lives.
What is your name?
Across the country, we know the numbers are staggering. So every day, 10 deaths occur that are unintentional water-related accidents. 2 of those 10 deaths, 20%, are under the age of 14. So we know there's an important case that's made for the reason why to learn how to swim. But beyond that, it's just that added comfort of a family, a mom and a dad taking their kids out and not having to worry additionally, because we know you're going to be distracted. We already know that's a given. So if we can do a small part in helping, bridge that gap and close it a little bit, I think we've done our part in helping hopefully save a life.
Your message for everybody this summer?
Let's have fun, stay cool, and stay safe.
The city of San Antonio has 18 outdoor pools that are open all summer long up until August 14th. Now, don't do like those city leaders did and jump in the pool fully clothed. Proper pool attire is required. Coming up, we do have the story of a fugitive who has a rather big bounty on his capture. More South Texas Most Wanted from Corpus Christi coming up.
Rosalio Anthony Barraza is wanted by the U.S. Marshal Service for having an active arrest warrant involving a charge of first-degree murder. In July of 2013, a warrant was issued for Barraza's arrest following an investigation by the San Antonio Police Department. During that investigation, police say they found that Barraza shot Isaac Arrocha 6 times during an argument on the west side. Arrocha died in the middle of the street near General McMullen and Weir Avenue. Witnesses say Barraza left the scene on foot, and authorities have not seen him since. They do consider him armed and dangerous. Authorities say Barraza has an extensive violent criminal history that includes assault, burglary of a vehicle, evading arrest, and criminal trespassing. His last known address is on the west side of San Antonio, but police believe he does hang out on the south side as well, and they do believe he is still hiding out right here in the Alamo City. Now that is why the U.S. Marshals Service is offering a $5,000 reward for any information that leads to the arrest of Rosalio Anthony Barraza. The suspect stands 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighs 145 pounds. Barraza just celebrated his 21st birthday back in March. Police are hoping you can help make that celebration a short one. Again, there is a $5,000 reward for information leading to his arrest. If you have any information on Rosalio Anthony Barraza, contact our South Texas Most Wanted hotline, the number 210-462-1747. That's 210-462-1747. Make the difference. Make the call.
Your tips and information are already helping to take fugitives off of our streets. And they are one of the reasons these next couple of suspects are no longer on the run. Authorities say Lauren Renee Garza was picked up on a charge of having a small amount of marijuana, a larger amount of cocaine, and theft of $50 to $500. That charge alone can get you 2 to 10 years in prison. Bexar County deputies caught up with her at home on University Avenue between Fredericksburg Road and I-10 on the north side. And George Arias is wanted for a felony in possession of a firearm, theft of a firearm, and evading arrest on more than one occasion. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but convicted felons can have firearms in their homes. They just can't leave their home with that firearm. The 40-year-old Arias was arrested on Buena Vista Street near Commerce and General McMullen. We could not catch up with these fugitives if not for your efforts and information. Keep it coming. For South Texas Most Wanted, I'm Vanessa Gallegos.
So, okay, it's the sensation sweeping the nation. We've been here in Corpus Christi all week, and even with the beach, the bay, and the beautiful history of this city, what was the first thing we saw? Children and their parents doing? Playing Pokemon Go. Count myself and JT Street as those who are not impressed. It's tonight's, they say you did what?
Come on. Yes, caught it. Oh, hi. As someone who occasionally gets to enjoy the questionable decision-making of others on television, I just want to come out and say thank you to whoever made Pokemon Go. Just when I thought this job couldn't get any easier, someone has developed an app that actually speeds along the process of natural selection. For those of you who've been living under a rock, in a cave, or somewhere without cell phone signal, Pokemon Go is an app where people can walk around the street and catch little virtual critters using their phone cameras in what developers are calling augmented reality. In the right hands, it's a great way to go out, get some exercise, meet your neighbors, and explore the world. However, for some people, downloading the app has led to a reality that's just not quite so augmented. Like the two guys in Cali who literally walked off a cliff playing Pokemon Go. Both men suffered moderate injuries and had to be taken to an area hospital where you can actually find some really great rare Pokemon. So, at least there's that. Then there are guys who we all wish would jump off a cliff, like these guys in New York who actually left their cars running to go chase rare Pokemon. That is the second dumbest thing we've seen someone do involving a car and Pokemon Go. That's the first. And then there were the guys in Central Park who were so enthralled with Pokemon Go that they didn't notice that the person playing Pokemon Go right next to them was actually Justin Bieber. Just one more reason to love this app. It's getting people to actually stop paying attention to Justin Bieber. But while Pokemon Go players have been robbed by guys using lures to attract them to remote locations, shot at by homeowners who thought they were being burgled, and even arrested when they walked into a police station with outstanding warrants to hunt a Pokemon, really? The most dangerous thing facing Pokemon players is not other players or even cars, but Bosnian landmines. A Bosnian charity actually had to make a statement urging people not to walk into still active landmines left over from the Bosnian Civil War to hunt virtual creatures on a cell phone game. But how else am I going to get my self-destructing electrode? constantly augmenting my reality. This is JT Street with this week's They Say You Did What? Ooh, a Pidgeotto.
That's our JT Street. You know, while here on the coast, we have seen how many groups are working to paint murals and do art to change the vibrancy of their downtown. A lot of other South Texas cities are doing the same. See how they're changing lives in the process. More South Texas Most Wanted on the way.
For most people, taking art classes is a hobby or maybe a way to relax. But at one longtime West Side landmark, art has become so much more. The San Anto Cultural Arts Center is a refuge for dozens of young people and a catalyst to spreading pride throughout the West Side. And that makes them a South Texas Most Wanted difference maker.
San Anto Cultural Arts is a nonprofit organization. We're based on the west side of San Anto. And we have two major programs, and those programs are the community mural or public art program, as well as the Placazo, which is a community newspaper. We will identify a lead artist to come up with a concept to create a mural. We partner with businesses or organizations that have walls to then place the mural on that wall. We're coming up on our 50th, our 50th mural to date since we were started as an organization.
20 years of doing anything is a long time.
It is a long time. I feel very old. San Anto Cultural Arts was founded by Manuel Castillo, as well as two other persons, Cruz Ortiz and Juan Ramos. And so they came together with the idea of creating artwork for the barrio. And from that, this organization grew. I think everybody who comes to San Anto, who volunteers their time, who volunteers on the board, who has acted in the capacity of staff, have all had that in mind of continuing this spark that Manny had started, which was to bring communities together, foster their development through public art and community-based arts. And I think everybody who comes through this door has that in their heart.
In their 22-year history, San Anto Cultural Arts has created 48 murals and published over 200 issues of El Placazo. This is with a staff of just 3 people and their tireless work of hundreds of volunteers. If you know of a group or individual who are making a difference in South Texas, contact us on our Facebook page or call our South Texas Most Wanted hotline at 210-462-1747. For South Texas Most Wanted, I'm Trudy Stone.
Still to come, how your calls are already making South Texas a safer place. More South Texas Most Wanted on its way. Before we let you go, here is one last look at some of the fugitives featured here tonight. Gonzalo Romero is wanted by the U.S. Marshals Service. Back in September of 2006, Romero was sentenced to 120 months in prison on charges of possession with intent to distribute cocaine. He was also ordered to serve 5 years probation. But in December of last year, 2015, Romero violated the conditions of his supervised release by continually testing positive for marijuana, at least according to authorities. At that point, law enforcement says Romero disappeared. His last known whereabouts on the area of Van Ormy, Texas, and police believe he has not wandered far. The 47-year-old Gonzalo Romero is almost 6 feet tall, weighs about 210 pounds. He has obvious multiple tattoos on his neck, his chest, abdomen, back, and arms. Also, officials say Oscar Herrera has an active arrest warrant for escaping from the Frio County Correctional Facility in Pearsall. Way back in September of 2003, Herrera and another inmate escaped from that facility and sparked a massive manhunt throughout South Texas and West Texas, but neither inmate has ever been captured. According to published reports, Herrera was last accounted for inside the jail at 9 in the morning. A couple hours later, they did a head count and he was gone. Authorities do believe Oscar Herrera is in and out of the South Texas area.
Well, Javante Malcolm Lee is wanted on a couple of charges, including obstruction of a highway by intoxication and assault with bodily injury of a family member. Obstruction of a highway is a charge that's considered less than a DWI, but it is still punishable by 6 months in jail. The assault with bodily injury charge is much more serious because it involves a family member. That's a third-degree felony that could lead up to 10 years behind bars. The last known whereabouts of Javante Malcolm Lee are on TPC Parkway on the far north side, and authorities believe he is still in that area. And 39-year-old Leticia Anthony is wanted on a charge of failure to stop and render aid. Keep this in mind: if you get into a wreck where someone is possibly hurt and you decide to leave the area, that is considered a failure to stop and render aid. That is also a third-degree felony. Leticia Anthony could be facing time behind bars of about 20 years. Her last known address is on the south side on Christine Drive near Riverside Golf Course. If you have any information on any of these suspects, give us a call on our South Texas Most Wanted hotline, the number 210-462-1747. Make the difference. Make the call.
That's going to do it for tonight's South Texas Most Wanted, coming to you from Corpus Christi, Texas, and we hope to take the show on the road throughout South Texas in the weeks to come. I'm Michael Valdez for all the crew working late for you. Stay tuned. It's your cat nap with the app coming up in 90 seconds.
Hey guys, I'm DJ Mighty Iris with your nightcap with the app, coming to you from the Alamo Lounge, powered by AA Best Bail Bonds. This week we have a Southern California 4-piece band known as New Beat Fun, who just released an album called Sponge Fingers, but they've been touring for the past 2 years. And that includes a stop in our very own Alamo Lounge.
Drop the top off a Porsche, that's a headless horse. Stand no long as an extension cord. Bitch, I buy like Jordan and I play for cool. If you're not my type, I gotta keep it short. Got some models that you see up in the movies, wanna make a flick for the camera. They wanna be like Kim Kardashian. Heard that I was living like a bachelor.
Thanks to New Beat Fun, they were just in town for the Vans Warped Tour a couple of weeks ago, but let's hope they stop by very, very soon. Don't forget to join me every weekday afternoon, and do not forget to check out the Valdez Alt Vault on Saturday mornings and Sunday nights with Michael Valdez and friends on SA's only alternative station, 103.3 The App. For South Texas Most Wanted, I'm DJ Mighty Iris. Have a good night.
What?